colors creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I wanted to do a makeup look using the Master Palette by Mario with Anastasia Beverly Hills. I recently got this a couple weeks ago and I haven't been able to make a video on it because I've been doing the Halloween stuff last month. So now that Halloween is over and I've had time, I wanted to get a video up using this palette. As soon as I saw this palette, I was drawn to it, and maybe because it was limited edition, I was like, I have to have it. But these colors are so beautiful. I mean, how perfect is this? There are a lot of shimmers in here, so if you're not a shimmer kind of person, you might not like this palette. I have been using this palette a lot since I got it, just haven't filmed with it, and I really love the colors. I've never tried any Anastasia colors or eyeshadows before, and so I was really surprised when I was using them, and they're so blendable and they're just so amazing. So I really give this palette a thumbs up. I think the colors are beautiful, especially for this time of year, and I've been wanting to try darker eyeshadows lately, so I'm really glad that I picked this up. I've been dying to use this shade right here, so I did incorporate that into this look. It's not super bold, you can't tell too much that it's there, but in the light and outside you can definitely see that it's olive, and I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. So this is the look that I created with the palette. I used the olive color called Bronx, and I used Claudia, which is like a deep navy color. So yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing how I got this look, then just keep watching. Alright, so I already have my eyes primed with the Smashbox 24-hour photo finish shadow primer. I've really been liking this. It works so much better than the NARS smudge proof eyeshadow base. This makes my eyelids so oily for some reason, and it has really good reviews, but this works a million times better. I don't have any problems with my eyeshadow creasing when I use this, so this is awesome. After I put this on, I went ahead and neutralized my eyelids with this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Neutral, and then I just set it with the RCMA No Color Powder, and then I put tape on so that we get a nice clean line for this look. Today, as you guys can see by the title, I'm going to be using it's called Master Palette by Mario from Anastasia, and this is what it looks like. It comes with a mirror. These are the shadow colors. They're so pretty and so perfect for fall. I've been loving this palette, and it does also come with a little brush. I'm not a huge fan of the brush. It's a little scratchy in my opinion. The first thing I'm going to do, actually, I always use this one shade from this little Smashbox trio. It's called Vanilla, and it's just like a cream base color, and I like to use that to set like my entire eyelid, even though I did use the RCMA No Color Powder to set my eyelids. I just think this helps blend the shadows a little bit more. I'm going to take Beaches and Cream from the Manny MUA palette and Makeup Geek. This is the Beaches and Cream shade, and that's going to go into the crease area just to help the other colors transition a lot nicer, because there are really nice transition colors in there and crease colors, but they're a little dark for my skin tone to just use as a transition. So this is just going to help blend all of the colors out later on.
Time is barely on our side. I don't want to waste what's left.
Take the Anastasia palette, and I'm going to use the shade Lula, which is in this bottom corner here, and I'm going to take that on a Morphe R38 brush. I just got this brush not too long ago, and it's amazing. Lula, the shade Lula, and that's going to go right into the crease. The crease and the outer corner a little bit, so like that. If you can hear that bell bopping around, that's my cat. So just so you know, Also for this part, since you're working on like the transition colors and you don't want it to be super harsh, hold your brush at the end. That way you're using a lighter hand and everything just blends a little bit easier and it's not super harsh like I said. So as opposed to holding it up this close where you're gonna have a lot more pressure, if you hold it back further, you're gonna have a lighter hand. So there's a tip with that. I think I'm gonna use this shade Claudia because it's like a dark, deep, like navy color. I'm gonna take a Morphe M433, which looks like this. And then I'm gonna take the shade Claudia, which is that like dark navy color. And I'm gonna put that into the outer crease on this side, on the outer V, to make things a little bit darker and see how pigmented that is. I'm gonna go in with a black, and I'm gonna use just a little Wet n Wild single eyeshadow in the shade Panther, and we're just gonna build that up on the outer corner with the same brush. So if you start at your lash line first, you can get the most color there and then slowly work your way up. Dragging the color in a little bit to make it a little bit smokier on the inner corner. And then I'm gonna go back in with the Morphe R38 brush that we used with the crease with the shade Luna. I'm not gonna add any extra color on here. I'm just gonna start blending out the top edges. I'm moving my brush in circular motions so that everything sort of blends. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the eyeshadow pencil thing from Sephora, and I'm gonna put that on the inner parts of my eye, and then we'll go in with that shadow from the Mario palette. I'm gonna take that about halfway so that it connects with the black. So now that that's on, I'm gonna take the Urban Decay brush from the Naked 3 palette. I'm gonna use this Flutter shader brush and use that to pack on the color Bronx right here on the lid. I'm going to take this brush again, the Morphe M433, and I'm gonna take a little bit of Claudia, that navy color we used before the black, and use that to blend it out a little bit because it's not as chalky as the black color I used, so it'll just blend everything nicer. So blend everything together, the green and the blue, and just sort of blend up on top here, right above where we place the green. So after using that, I'm gonna take the black color again and build that into the outer V. Really just keeping the focus on this outer corner and not dragging it in so much. And then I'm gonna take the Morphe R38, that little fluffy brush again, and I'm gonna take the shade Lula that we originally put in our crease and use that to sort of blend out the outer edges. I'm gonna take the original brush that we had, which was the Morphe E27 that we used with Beaches and Cream, and just go even further up on the brow bone to blend things out so that there's no harsh lines. I desperately need to get my eyebrows done. So many stray hairs everywhere. All right, so that's what that looks like. I think I'm just gonna add one more layer of the olive color just to try and brighten things up a little bit. little fluffy brush from e.l.f. It's the blush brush, and just wipe away all the fallout. There actually wasn't too much fallout, which is good with the colors that we used, especially the darker ones. So I'm just going to peel this off. Let's do our normal primer. Laura Mercier foundation primer in hydrating. I'm just going to put that in the normal spot. And then I'm going to take the Makeup Forever Step 1 Equalizer in the smoothing primer. It's going to go right here on my nose and my forehead a little bit, on my chin. Mainly right here where all my pores are. Maybelline Matte and Poreless, you guys know. Then the shade 128 Warm Nude and 110 Porcelain, because slowly but surely I am losing any color that I might have had. My camera died, or it didn't die, it got too hot for a second. All I did was finish buffing in my foundation, and now I'm gonna do my concealer. So I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light and Light Neutral. I like to use the shade Light right underneath my eyes. And then I'll use Light Neutral to sort of conceal around my face and highlight with that. Because I find that the shade Light is a little too pink for my liking on my face. As you can see, it's like really light and it's really bright, which is good for underneath the eyes or highlighting, but on my skin, I just think it's a little too pink. So I'm taking the shade Light Neutral now, and that's going basically down my T-zone, and then I do put a little bit under here to help blend that pink shade with the rest of my skin. Taking my beauty blender, and what I was saying right before my camera decided to get too hot. What are you guys getting from the Sephora sale that's coming up? There's like a 20% off event that goes on. It's like the friends and family sale event or something like that. They do it twice a year, once in the springtime, like around April I think, and then once in the winter time. So it's coming up in November. I think VIB Rouge, it starts on the 4th through the 10th, and then VIB Beauty Insiders get it from the 11th and so on. I don't know when it ends exactly. But yeah, I'm so excited. I already have stuff in my cart online. It's really bad that I keep going back and adding things, but you know, 20% off, just take advantage of it. And I believe you can use the code more than once. So if you decide you want to use it online and then you go in store and you also want to use it, I believe you can do that. So just a heads up. I want to pick up a new foundation for sure. I've been wanting to try the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation or something like that. Marc Jacobs Full Coverage Remarkable foundation. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's super full coverage, and I really have been wanting to try that for so long. So I think I might pick it up because I think it's like $55. I know. I'm taking the RCMA No Color Powder, and I'm gonna set my face with that. I'm taking the Maybelline Better Skin powder, and I'm just gonna use that on like the perimeter of my face a little bit. Like I'm gonna wipe this away so that it doesn't stay white right there, and also on my chin. I'm gonna use the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil, and I've been using this brush from Morphe that I picked up. It's called the Morphe R10. It's part of the Rose Gold collection, and I saw Manny talk about this, so of course Manny has it. I had to get it. And it's so good, you guys. It's the perfect contour brush. It's like really dense, and it's got that like taperedness to it. But because it's tapered, it like blends it out and creates like a really good defined contour at the same time. So I've really been liking this brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of Hoola from this big blush palette, and I'm gonna use this Morphe brush again, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of Hoola to deepen up the contour a little bit, since the eyes are so dramatic. So I'm just wiping away that extra powder. I'm gonna take the Morphe E4, which is just another angled brush, and I think I'm gonna use the shade Dallas in here just because it's a pretty neutral shade. It's on this side. So this is the brush that I use to contour my nose. It is the Morphe E46. I could definitely use something smaller, but this is just what I've been using for a while now. So all I do is, because I have like a bump in the middle of my nose, I don't like to take my contour all the way up here. Otherwise, it's just going to accentuate that bump that I have. What I like to do is just take it about midway and bring it down. So like, and then curve into the bottom of my nose. Wayne Goss has a really good video on contouring your nose. This is where I got it from. Because it's already pretty defined here, I don't want to define it anymore, which is why I start here and bring it down. And it just makes everything look a little bit more structured. You definitely don't need to contour your nose if you don't want to. I just like to do it. I feel like it completes everything. So I don't go in too heavy, that's all I do, just a little bit of shading. And then I'll go ahead and take my highlight. Yes, Jeffree Star. I got the shade Ice Cold. Look at that sparkle. I'm so excited. So I did use it yesterday, but I didn't go ham and I didn't want to like mess it up because I wanted to take pictures of it. So now let's go in. Ooh. Look at how pretty that is. So my eyebrows are on. We can look past them because they are not perfect. But the products I did use, I'll tell you guys, are the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Chocolate and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel in Brunette. We're going to move on and finish the eyes. I am going to use the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon, that on my waterline. I'm going to take the black, this little eyeshadow from Wet n Wild, and a flat definer brush from Morphe. This is the E43, and that's what this looks like. And I'm going to take that black shadow and just press it up against the lash line, on the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take the Master palette again, and I'm going to use the Bronx shade, the olive shade, to smoke out the lower lash line. And I'm going to use a Morphe E36 for that. It's just a small pencil brush, which looks like this. I'm going to use this to highlight my eyes. And I'm going to use a Morphe M213. It's just a little shader brush like these. I'm going to take this to just blend everything really quick. And then I'm also going to use that on my inner corners. Put some mascara on my lower lashes. The tried and true Loreal Voluminous Million Lashes on the bottom. I'm going to use the Flutter lashes in Slayla, and they're so pretty. I did cut them to fit my eyes because they are a little long, but this is what they look like. First thing I'm going to take is the Essence lip liner in the shade, in the nude. The liquid lip that I'm going to use is Jeffree Star, and it's the shade Mannequin. I tried this the other day for the first time and I was so impressed with it. It smells like root beer, you guys. It doesn't stay smelling like root beer once you have it on. Like after it dries, the smell goes away, but when you're putting it on, it smells so good. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on. Again, this is in the shade Mannequin. So that's the final look today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this and chit-chatting with me. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already so you can see future videos from me. Leave any comments down below if you have any video suggestions for me. I would love to hear them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Secrets and forbidden bliss can't stay still. Don't stop that thrill. My bones crave skin. Temptation within, mistake.